What's up, guys? This is Jay with Prepared Citizens. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope this video finds you well. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about the Baofeng UV-5R and why all ham operators say it's the best ham handheld radio there is. Because that's a big deal. Okay, when people are saying that, it's a big deal. And we're going to talk about why and the reasons I've discovered it over the past, I don't know, 3-ish years I've been using it. So a little bit of background on me. I was a infantryman in the Army. I did a lot of training since getting out. Firearms, medical, radio, land nav. Guys, my training journey never ends. And the just desire to learn more about, as much as I can, really, but especially these UV-5R radios. I will tell you guys, for the price, it's no wonder so many people, this is your first step into the radio world, especially on the side of preparedness. Okay, first and foremost, this is a ham radio. It is a handheld, obviously. These range between 5 and 8 watts, depending on which model you get. 5 and 8 watts in a handheld radio, or that gap there, it's really, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. One's just as good as the other. It's just a selling point, is really all that is. When it comes to handheld radios, especially, line of sight. Well, these are called line of sight radios. So the better line of sight you got, that's what's going to matter. Okay. So don't let the power thing fool you. If there's dirt between you and who you're trying to talk to, it's just not going to happen. No matter what you got. At range, don't expect. These are not cell phone replacements. These are emergency type communication devices, walkie-talkies. You're going to be talking to who's close to you, okay? These can be programmed to use repeaters. If you don't know what a repeater is, it's basically, let's look at it like this. Let's do a little quick example. We got these two radios trying to talk to each other, but there is a big mountain in between, okay? They can't talk to each other because of this mountain. So in this case, Billy and Bob here want to put their money together so they can talk to each other and buy themselves a repeater to put on the top of the mountain. Now the radios can reach the repeater, and the repeater will repeat and send it to the other radio. That's basically what it is. So let's talk about what their channel capabilities are. VHF and UHF ham channels. Okay, these can go to like 136 to, it's almost 180, not quite 180, and then the UHF is like in the 400s. I really don't remember the exact channels. You can go to Amazon or wherever that sells these and look at the exact range, but it's roughly in those areas. You can receive on all of those. You cannot transmit on all of those. The only things you can transmit on are the ham channels. So here's a very cool feature about the radio. It can be unlocked. So all the channels it can receive on, you can now transmit on after you unlock it. Let's talk about how to unlock it really quick. It's very easy. If you buy one of these from eBay or Amazon, usually 20 bucks, what you're going to be spending, right around 20 bucks for one of these. And that goes for the little plus model, the premium, the fancy looking one, and the just plain one like I got. So, how to unlock it. Okay. Camera's a little bit far from me, so I hope you guys can see this good enough. So you got your transmit button here, a little black button underneath. I'm going to take my index and bird finger. I'm going to put it on those. Now I'm going to put this radio in the palm of my hand. My thumb is going to hit the channel to frequency mode button there. You're going to press all three of those buttons. Make sure you hear them all press. Turn the radio on. Look at the front of it. It's going to say factory. Let go of it. You're done. It's unlocked. You're ready to go. Okay? It's that easy. Known controls. I like bringing this up because I don't have many. Let's see, the only radio outside of Baofeng I got is my mobile radio, and my Forerunner is like a B-Tech, which is like a kind of Baofeng, but it's a B-Tech. I don't remember the model. It's a tri-band. It's around 125 bucks. Get the tri-band one. There's a dual band and a tri-band. Get the tri-band. But the controls on that, and I have another handheld. It's a TID radio, the H3, I think. It's kind of the hot sauce of lately, 2 weeks ago, something. Controls are very similar to these. So basically what I'm saying is, if you get training and you learn how to use these, or you just mess with them enough to where you learn how to use them, once you get familiar with this, you're going to be able to handle pretty much any radio you get. I'm not saying all are going to be the same, but they'll be similar enough till you can figure it out. If you can figure this out really good, you're good. Okay, not saying this is hard. It's just you will see a lot of similarities to other radios. Is all I'm saying, or I have at least in everything I've used. I said they're cheap. They're very cheap. $100 you can have 5 of them. Okay. If one breaks, whoop. All right. Most popular, obviously, and that kind of goes into the control thing. This being the most popular, a lot of radios that are coming out today are basing their controls on these, or basing basically their radios on these. That's really cool. Dual monitoring. This is really cool. You'll notice. Let me see if I got it set up here. I will just show them that. You got 2 channels. You got one up top, one on the bottom. Okay. You can set this radio up to receive or monitor, listen to both of these channels at the same time. How you do that? You're going to go to menu option number 7. It's called TDR. I don't know what the T stands for, but the DR stands for dual recording or dual receiving, and you're going to be able to listen to both of them. Once you do it, there'll be a little S come up here above the channels. That means you're in dual monitoring or dual receiving mode. So if you're hearing too much junk you're not wanting to hear, turn that off and turn on if you're wanting to. Now, why would you use that? Let's go into that real quick. Let's just say Billy and Bob are wanting to talk to each other, but they're in a tactical environment, and with these analog radios, the chances of your conversation being intercepted is a little more higher. It is easier to intercept these things. So that's not to deter you from doing it. There are steps you can do to make people's job to intercept you a living hell. So we want to make it as difficult as possible for someone trying to intercept us. So we just talked about the dual receiving mode, receiving mode. So you can listen to both channels. Okay, let's do this scenario real quick. Billy is transmitting on channel 1, and he is receiving, he's listening on channel 2. He's actually listening to both, but he's got his little, and that was something I didn't tell you. I'm going to show you real quick. Oh yeah, that one's still on. Okay. There's a little triangle. You see it going up and down? That little triangle is what tells you what channel you're transmitting on, okay? So keep that in mind, just so you guys can see that. Anyway, okay. So make sure that triangle's on where you're transmitting. Alright, back to the drawing board here. Billy is transmitting on channel 1. He's receiving on channel 2. Bob is transmitting on channel 2. So Billy will receive it. And he is receiving on channel 1, which is where Billy is transmitting. So sending on channel 1, listening on channel 1. Sending on channel 2, listening on channel 2. Why is this unique? Well, here's what's cool about that. Not all radios have this capability. A lot do, but not all. Even some higher end ones don't have it. So what that does is if someone does intercept the conversation, chances are they're only going to be able to receive on one channel, which means they're only going to hear half the conversation. They're not going to hear it all. So that's going to leave them in the dark on half of the information they're trying to intercept. That's cool. You want to make it as difficult as possible for an enemy. And going beyond that, you could also use receive and transmit tones, but this is not a video about that. This is just a video telling you why the UV-5R is the best radio. Okay, so that's really cool. Repeaters, I just talked about that earlier. You can program these for repeaters, GMRS, or hand repeaters. Doesn't matter. You can do it. As long as you know how to program it, you can do it. Let's talk about waterproofing. These are not waterproof at all. If you decide to take a bubble bath with these, it will mess them up. But working in the rain, it's a hit and a miss. It could still mess these up because these are not waterproof. I want to show you guys a technique that I like to use to waterproof these radios. And then we're going to talk about batteries. Okay, don't let me forget. We're going to talk about batteries. Alright, so waterproofing. Here is my radio. And just before, let's go ahead and go over this real quick before we jump into waterproofing antennas really quick. If you want to improve your radio's ability to transmit and receive the distance, because these are only going to be able to do so much, period. But you can improve them greatly with antennas. The more you know about antennas and the better quality antennas you can get, the better. I'm going to tell you guys my setup. This comes from not only the book I read about the Gorilla's Guide to Baofeng. Not only that, but also I took a class on radios, Radio Made Easy, and they even said this method and proved it to boot. So there's two. Well, first things first, any radio I get, any radio, I like to put a BNC adapter on it. Okay, I think you guys can see that. So this little thing screws on and off where your antenna goes. This is called a BNC. See, that's where you'd normally screw in your antenna. That's called a SMA male that's in there because it's got a hard little rod thingamadooger. It's a male. And then, and it cannot pretend to be anything. It's a male. Like, you don't get a choice. So, this little guy is a BNC adapter. And what this does allow you to quick change antennas, which is absolutely awesome. Super beneficial in the field. And what you're going to get when you get a BNC adapter for a Baofeng, you're going to make sure you buy the SMA female because it's got a hole. It can't be a guy. It's got a hole. So, they go together just how God intended. And once you get that on, you can leave it. Put it on there super tight. And now, your radio is BNC outfitted. Now, what that does, so I have this little stubby antenna. I like to run these a lot when I want to keep comms close range. and it just goes on there. You press it down, quarter turn, it snaps on. Take it off, reverse. Super easy. So when I want to go to a little bit longer range, I got this antenna, BNC, put it on there. Voila. So my antennas are not married to the radio. If I buy, and I have other radios, like my TID radio, I got it outfitted, same thing, with a BNC adapter, and I can put these antennas on it too. So super easy. Let's talk about the brands of the antennas that I like to use real quick. So the stubby here, this is called a Miracle Baby CH32, made by Comet Antenna. These are very good. I think they're made in Japan. These are very good antennas. There's a lot of knockoffs out there. The real one's going to run you $30 to $45, depending on where you can find it. So keep that in mind. Now on this radio, I have one of the little cheap eBay ones. This thing was like $7. It works, but not as good as that one, but it does work. I do not at all. I can just tell by the quality of them. The Comet antenna will last way longer. So if you're doing serious stuff, get the brand name. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee it's going to work very well or hold up. So this antenna, and that was a dual band antenna as well. This is also a dual band antenna. All that means is it'll work for VHF and UHF well. So if you're doing GMRS stuff, you'll be fine with this stuff. So this antenna is made in the USA by a company called Signal Stuff, and this antenna is a signal stick, and it is a BNC, as you just saw as well. These are excellent antennas. I really like these. You have obviously a little bit more height, and that in some cases gives us a little better range, and it does give more clarity in my opinion. These things are unbreakable. I can actually bend this up and just leave it like that. And I'll leave it in my bag sometimes like that. So yeah, that's a compact package right there. Really cool. Okay, let's talk about waterproofing. So that's the antenna. You see what antennas I use, I recommend. Let's talk about waterproofing. When someone buys a radio from me, I usually put them in these little heavy-duty plastic bags. And yep, you're about to see why I got duct tape on it, because I've done this before. So the radio, what I like to do, and you don't, this is a, I think it's a, let's see, this one may be, what is that? This is actually a 4x6, I believe, Ziploc bag. And what you do before you put it in here, so you go ahead, you get your radio set up, and then you lock it. For those of you that don't know what locking the radio means, when you lock the radio, let me see here. I love her voice, don't y'all? Her voice just does it. So once you get to the channel you want, get the volume you want to lock the radio. Lock. It's that bottom right button. You're going to just press and hold it until you hear the word lock, or you see a little key show up there beside your battery meter. Okay, so what we do, and also before I get ahead of myself, when you're waterproofing your radio, I always recommend running a speaker mic, because these are waterproof. This is actually made to be waterproof. So you hook this into your radio. You get your volume adjusted, because now all the sounds are coming out of this. Get it adjusted where you want. Get it on the channel you want. Go ahead and lock it. Get it locked. And then you will put the radio in your Ziploc baggie just like that. And you're going to close it the best you can, as much as you can. And you're going to leave this out. It's going to be sticking out like so. Okay. And this is where, I ain't going to do it right here, but you're going to take your duct tape and you're going to go all the way across it. All the way. On both sides. Actually, we'll do it. I'll show you guys. We'll do it because I love you guys. We'll just go ahead and do it. Okay. That way you guys will see exactly how I do it. Okay. Here's my first piece of tape on. See how it's got the ears sticking off now? Now you go to the other side. Piece of tape, same length or close. Just make sure it goes all the way across the baggie. Because remember, we're trying to make this waterproof. Oh, messed that piece of tape up because I was not paying attention. But yeah, we want to make it waterproof. So we got to do it right. Come on. Get off there. There we go. This duct tape, man, it'll stick the world together, I tell you. Okay. Here we go. So now it's going to be like that on both sides. And you see, got my mic set up. I'm going to run that. Obviously, already run this through your routes and stuff on your gear if you have to. And then, there you go, guys. You're good to go. So that's how you do that. You want to be sure you keep this thing waterproof, because these are not waterproof, and if you're doing serious stuff, you don't want it failing on you in the field. I will say also, on that note, on gear failing in the field, I typically will keep an extra one with me, and it's sometimes just the body, sometimes just an extra one. Because if you're going out in the field for a couple of days, you're not just going to be chit-chatting on the radio the whole time. So these batteries, even just the regular one, will last a good while. Now, while we're on the subject of batteries, here's something to think about. When you're going to be in the field for an extended period of time, and you're worried that the regular battery won't hold up, I will say the crappiest thing about these batteries is the fact the only way to charge them is the stupid cradle that comes with them. I hate that. It's awesome when you're at home, but when you're out in the field, it don't do you a lick of good. So the extended batteries, the best thing about them, they got a little spot, a little hole up there. I don't know if you can see that. That's where a USB cable can go in and charge these. So if you got your solar battery banks, which I highly recommend keeping in your kit, you have a way to charge this thing. Always want a way to keep your radios up. I always bring extra batteries, charging stations, the works. Because comms is something you do not need going down in the middle of an op. It's pretty serious. So, guys, I hope you learned a lot. I really hope this video helps, and I hope it gives you an idea on just the cool things you can do with a $20 radio. Yes, I love having the latest and greatest, coolest stuff, but at the end of the day, guys, it's going to come down to your training and just your dedication to your craft and whatever you're doing. Being able to be effective with minimal gear requires skill like no other. So that's, to me, where you become a badass, is where you can make stuff work with minimal gear. So, and that's kind of what I'm trying to show you guys today. This cheap piece of gear can go a long ways if you know what you're doing. So get out there, practice. I have a playlist on the channel. It's literally nothing but Not a Rubicon, because that dude, I learned a lot from him, and just the way he shows it resonated with me, and it's funny, keeps you entertained. Second, buy the book by NC Scout, the Gorilla's Guide to the Baofeng Radio. That is a excellent source of information, and it's great to have it, just a physical copy of it at your disposal, because if the grid went down and internet went down, you can't look this stuff up. So have that book on hand, and you can literally, man, it's got so much information, it's not even funny. And last but not least, the most effective thing you could probably do is go to Radio Made Easy. Actually get training on this stuff. Get hands-on training. A dude right in front of you you can ask the questions to that will thoroughly explain it to you. And I'm telling you, when you take that class, you not only learn the stuff, you use it. He supplies you with just a wealth of just knowledge, information on all this stuff. And just an outstanding dude. So even if you want to buy radios from him, go support him. Great dude. And yeah, I think that is going to be all I got for you. Also, I do sell radios as well. If you want to save a little money, just keep in mind you're getting more stuff. Like, he includes the extended batteries and stuff. I got to get some more antennas. I do have a premium kit where I literally pretty much sell this setup, and I just don't have them in stock at the moment. So trust me, it's coming. Give me some time. I got to get my inventory built up. Been doing a lot of medical stuff lately, and got some big stuff going on with that right now. So that's why my radio stuff's kind of shy. But anyway, it's just me doing all this. So, but shoot me a question. If anybody is interested, please email me. Go to my website at preparedcitizenstg.com. Shoot me some questions, things like that. I'd be more than happy to help you and point you in the right direction if you need it. Alright guys, that does it for me. Remember, learn these skills and be an asset to everyone around you, not a liability. And I will catch you guys on the next one. God bless. And don't let this hurricane get you guys. So be ready. Alright guys. God bless.